Hello knowledge seekers, this is Showman from Oil and Gas Field Quality Control. Before commissioning, we always used to do a special cleaning procedure, especially for the refined products. So this is termed as chemical cleaning of pipeline and also for in-plant piping. Since my channel is basically for the pipeline construction, so I will emphasize with the pipeline chemical cleaning today. But we will know where it is basically required. First, let us know what is the objective of chemical cleaning. The objective of chemical cleaning during operation is to remove unacceptable level of in-service fouling, that is affecting pipeline throughout or inline inspection requirement. Note, the most common type of fouling is black powder. Pipelines, in-plant piping equipment and steam generation systems are generally internally cleaned with chemicals which are being done during pre-commissioning or during operations. Where chemical cleaning is mandatory for pipeline based on standards based practice of oil and gas industry. Chemical cleaning is being conducted for sales gas and NGL during pre-commissioning stage. So, pipeline construction contractor is generally performing this operation either by their own team or some other specific available local service providers. In case hydrostatic testing or layup of the services like Naphtha, gasoline, kerosene, jet fuel, diesel, ethane, propane, butane and natural gas could not be complied with the specific time limit of pipeline layup, the chance of unwanted internal corrosion of the pipeline material can be rectified by chemical cleaning. That means for some refined product, if you cannot take out the water after hydrotest properly and layup is not done in a proper way with dry air followed by nitrogen, then there is a chance of internal corrosion getting increased. So to clear this doubt, that time also we need to do chemical cleaning. So chemical cleaning is the immediate corrective action for these cases. To note that pipeline projects may elect to conduct chemical cleaning as part of the commissioning or startup activities instead of pre-commissioning. For convenience, however, this is preferred to conduct it during pre-commissioning in case of multiple cleaning runs are required to meet the acceptance criteria. What is the acceptance criteria for this chemical cleaning of pipeline? Chemical cleaning needs several runs. The runs shall be repeated following test until clean concept. This involves cleaning, sampling and testing with repetition of this sequence until an acceptable solid loading is attained. Generally, the maximum solids loading limit shall not exceed 5 gram per liter. We will discuss the process in bit details based on the best practices in the industry. Where and why chemical cleaning is required in plant piping and equipment based on the standard best practice of oil and gas industry. Chemical cleaning shall be conducted for in-plant piping, fin-fan tubes and heat exchanger tubes or plates for the services as I will mention now. It can be done during pre-commissioning after hydrostatic testing. The objective is to remove oil, grease, preservatives, rust and mill scale and corrosion products. The services where in-plant piping and equipment are generally mandatory are sales gas and NGL, oxygen, amine solutions which is ADIP, DEA, DGA, MEA, MDEA. In the next slides, all these abbreviations of the chemical names are mentioned. You can stop the slide and take a screenshot if you need. Glycol solutions, we need to do also the chemical cleaning. Refrigerant systems, seal gas supply systems. Chemical cleaning also may be used for any services during operations if one of the following criteria is met. Number 1, when the cleanliness of heat exchangers and other equipment not achieved through mechanical cleaning. When piping flow is restricted due to scale built up that results in unacceptable pressure drop when other decontamination method cannot meet the acceptance criteria. You can see some schematic diagram for chemical cleaning for plant and equipment. Here is a typical setup. I have got it from Google. This can be more simpler if the system is only one. Acronym for the chemicals, as I told you, this slide you can stop and take a screenshot for this. Let me read one or two for you. Let's say ADIP, the total name is amino diisopropanol, as known as diisopropanol amine or DIPA. TEG is triethylene glycol. The chemicals comes in drum, in small cans or something depending on the volume you need, but industrial use is huge. It generally comes in bigger drums. What is the acceptance criteria of chemical cleaning for in-plant piping and equipments? There shall not be any visible traces of water or deposits inside the equipment or piping system. This is the primary acceptance. For oxygen service, cleanliness acceptance shall be made and demonstrated using the methods like direct visual inspection with white light, direct visual inspection with ultraviolet light, wipe test. For decontamination cleaning, the following conditions should be made. Combustible gas limit LEL at 0.00%, H2S limit also 0.0 ppm, benzene maximum limit below 0.5 ppm. Please note, chemical cleaning of in-plant piping, fin-fan tubes and heat exchanger tubes, plates, vessels and tanks shall be performed as per client's own procedure and manufacturer recommendations. Chemical cleaning of steam generation equipment and heat recovery system generators also mandatory in the industry, but we will not discuss it here, as the purpose of my channel is to discuss about pipeline construction and related piping systems. Let us go little bit in detail for chemical cleaning of pipelines. Before we go to the subject, let us learn two new terms which will be used frequently. In the acceptance standards of chemical cleaning I discussed before, you heard a term solids loading. What is that? The ratio of weight of solid in a cleaning sample divided by the volume of the representative liquid sample, typically expressed in gram per liter. We read the acceptance standard was 5 gram per liter. Surfactant. It is a compound when dissolved in water reduces interfacial tension between liquid and solid. Let us discuss the brief responsibility during chemical cleaning activity for pipeline. Different authorities. Active witnessing and monitoring authority will be from project management team or project inspection team, plant proponent. Executing authority, it will be a construction contractor or the proponent if they appoint some specific approved service provider. Approval authority, projects and technical supports department, pipelines technical support division or producing department, who are the owner of the pipeline. Inspection authority, for new constructions, project inspection department or inspection department will be the authority, whereas the post mechanical completion, when MCC is completed and proponent is doing their own, that time the proponent inspection department shall be the inspection authority. They will be responsible for review and accept the result of chemical cleaning. Now some important points to discuss in relation with chemical cleaning of pipeline. Chemical cleaning can be performed while the pipeline is either on stream or off stream. Offline chemical cleaning is a preferred option as it is easier and most effective since the speed of the chemical cleaning train can be easily controlled. Water shall not be used as a mixing medium for surfactants. The chemical cleaning train shall be propelled with dry air or nitrogen. The chemical cleaning shall be able to remove soluble scale, meal scale, corrosion products and grease. After chemical cleaning, drying and layup shall be implemented. Surfactant chemical cleaning shall be performed to remove sand, corrosion products, metallic ion, well spatter, salt or scale. The popular chemical cleaning method is upstream surfactant cleaning train. All pipeline segments shall be chemically cleaned by 2 runs. Additional runs may be added when required. For new pipeline, back pressure to built by air or nitrogen with a minimum dew point of -1 degree centigrade or 30 degree Fahrenheit or lower. For existing pipeline, back pressure to be built up by nitrogen to avoid any possibility of fire ignition, since the inside surface of the pipeline is potentially contaminated with hydrocarbon. A log of record of dry air dew point every 2 hours shall be maintained when establishing back pressure and during the chemical cleaning train run. A slug of nitrogen shall be injected upstream and downstream the chemical cleaning train to create buffer zones. The volume of nitrogen shall be equivalent to at least 20% of the pipeline length, 10% before and 10% after the chemical cleaning train. Before is to create the back pressure and 10% after to give the drive force to the chemical cleaning train. You can see the arrangement of upstream surfactant cleaning train and an arrangement of on-stream surfactant cleaning train. Now we will discuss the cleaning steps for upstream surfactant cleaning, because this is the most popular one we are using at the pre-commissioning stage basically. To prepare the required chemical quantity based on diluent concentration. Then we estimated travel time is based on the dry air velocity of 1 km per hour or 0.3 meter per second, which is converted to 0.9 feet per second. Velocity volumes of chemicals and diluent should be adjusted depending on the gathered result from previous runs. Optical run only when required. To collect one sample after chemical cleaning batch. Then we have to verify and confirm that the pipeline is maintained under minimum nitrogen pressure of 2.8 bar or 40 psi. For the first scraper, first to check the scraper tracking device prior to insertion. Then inject the nitrogen with maximum pressure of 3 psi to create positive pressure upstream the scraper. Then purge the nitrogen downstream the first scraper and pressurize the scraper barrel to pipeline pressure. Then launch the scraper with nitrogen. After launching the scraper, continue adding nitrogen until the required amount has been injected. For the second scraper, depressurize the launcher barrel and insert the second scraper. Close the launcher barrel door and purge with nitrogen upstream the second scraper. Maintain a maximum pressure of 3 psi, nitrogen positive pressure. Purge with nitrogen downstream of the second scraper and then pressurize the scraper barrel to the pipeline pressure. Finally, launch the second scraper with nitrogen. To insert the third scraper and inject the first batch of cleaning chemicals and diesel, launch the third scraper with nitrogen. Insert the fourth scraper and inject second batch of cleaning chemical and diesel. Launch the fourth scraper with nitrogen. For the fifth scraper, depressurize the launcher barrel and insert the fifth scraper. Close the launcher barrel door and purge with nitrogen upstream the fifth scraper. Maintain a maximum 3 psi nitrogen positive pressure. Purge with nitrogen downstream the fifth scraper and then pressurize the scraper barrel to the pipeline pressure. Launch the fifth scraper with propulsion gas. To continue injecting propulsion gas to propel the chemical cleaning train until it reaches the receiver barrel. Record the air dew point and line pressure on an hourly basis at the launcher and receiver station. Monitor the scraper train movement through the pipeline. Maintain a clean train speed of 1 km per hour, which is converted to 0.3 meter per second or 9 feet per second. Velocity should be adjusted based on the gathered result from the previous runs. collect liquids and solid slurry in temporary tank, manage liquids and solid as per client's hazardous waste code. Pyrophoric waste shall be managed as per standards requirement. Collect liquid samples from last cleaning batch when the chemical cleaning train arrives at the scraper receiver station. Perform the second chemical cleaning train run. Repeat the cleaning runs where necessary to exceed the cleanliness acceptance criteria which I have mentioned before. To ensure that a nitrogen generating unit is available and connected before starting pipeline foam scraping run, which is called swabbing, perform swabbing to remove the residual chemicals. Continue nitrogen purging through the pipeline segment to propel the swabbing train until it reaches the receiver barrel. Record dew point and pressures on an hourly basis at both launcher and receiver stations. Perform final layup and maintain the layup till pipeline is finally commissioned with the service. Sampling and acceptance criteria. Finally, samples of all the surfactant chemical liquids shall be taken from the feed tank at launcher and receiver for laboratory analysis. Control the surfactant discharging flow rate by throttling the discharge valve. Open the sampling valve and flush at least 1 liter of fluid. The valve shall not be closed after flushing. Collect 2 1 liter or 0.26 gallon samples in clean glass containers. The containers shall be marked with the pipeline or segment name, date, location and batch number. The valve shall not be opened during sampling to avoid particle contamination. ASTM D5452 shall be used to determine the solids loading in gram per liter using gravimetric procedure. You know the acceptance standard should be less than 5 grams per liter. Health and safety and environmental impact for this procedure is very, very important here. Even it is quality, but the basic health and safety hazards and requirements I am mentioning here. We need to prepare storage and disposal plan for all fluids and hazardous wastes shall be part of this hydrotest and layup procedure. In cases where environmental concerns may arise, obtain the approval also from Environmental Engineering Division of the client. Provide an IUR station and emergency shower at the mixing site of chemicals. Caution shall be exercised when using nitrogen. While nitrogen is not toxic, it displaces breathable air in confined spaces such as pipe trenches, vessel skirts and vessels that can lead to suffocation. Caution shall also be given to the use of cryogenic nitrogen and its effects on both personnel and equipment. Caution shall be taken in situations where pyrophoric iron sulfide might be present. Personnel shall not be exposed to fluids containing hydrogen sulfide levels that will result in 10 ppmW in the air. Potential for hazard exposures arise from acid cleaners. Deposits can be very dusty and when wetted become acidic. The evolution of hazardous H2S gas is anticipated when acid cleaning. Provide adequate ventilation to keep dust counts and H2S concentration is low. To wear full protective coat clothing, respirator, goggles, gloves, neck cloth, hood, rubber boots, inside coverall, trousers for all the workers for chemical cleaning. Ensure that all nitrogen cylinders are in upright position, firmly supported and they have individual regulator. Install a safety relief valve to the manifold to which nitrogen cylinders are attached. So that's all for a brief overview and procedure of chemical cleaning. Hope this gives some insight to you for chemical cleaning. This was totally for education purpose to keep my viewers aware of this particular operation. Please do not forget to hit the like button, share and subscribe my channel to inspire me more. Signing off for today, Showman.